Why did both of these shoes embarrass me? Both of y'all deserve belt to backside when it comes to these kicks. Because both of these kicks done embarrass your boy. All right, number one, look, y'all know what this is. This is the Black Cat 4. And this Black Cat 4 had me, look, I lost a friendly bet over to my guy Lewis at Radio Kicks 26 because I was telling y'all, look, man, I really thought these black cats were going to sit. I thought they were going to be readily available. I didn't think they were going to sit too long, but I did think you'd be able to walk into the store and just pick these up even on the day, maybe even the day after release. Nope. Not true. Not true. Which is weird because there were so many complaints about this shoe. But I did tell y'all, I have a video out there when I dropped my Chicago 1 lows, and I did tell y'all, don't let us YouTubers talk you out of getting this kick. And y'all didn't. Man, I got to get this shoe back. Man, they got this shoe out here sounding like the Trillville some cut. Right? Man, they got this shoe sounding like the radio signal, you know, at the radio satellite tower on Independence Day. Man, I had to get the Black Cat back for that. I really did. But you know what? Let's take a look at these kicks. Look, man, we're going to start with the box. Now, the 2006 pair, right? We got a 2006, and then we had a retro in 2020, and we got it back in 2025. I do not have any other versions of this Black Cat, but I do know about this shoe because these things sat in 2020, and then out of nowhere, they became like extremely popular. So the regular OG box definitely had a red Jumpman on there, and we had like the regular like cement bottom. And then the 2020 pair kind of gave us like that blacked out, they kind of murdered it out, gave us the black, and it also has like a completely like removable top. Now we actually have the splatter print all over the place. It is blacked out. It doesn't have the like the lift lid, it has like kind of like this open lid right there, but that's what we have here. Now there's something else to note here, and I'm not really sure, so I'm gonna need somebody who got a previous pair to kind of fact check me on this. But there is no hang tag on here. We did not get a hang tag on the 2025 pair. I don't know if the other pairs have a hang tag or not, but what I do know is there is no hang tag on these. Let's take a look at it. Look, it's a Black Cat 4. And we know what a Black Cat 4 is. Y'all know what a Black Cat 4 is. But once again, y'all hear me be talking about like Nike and the Jordan brand, and you'll hear me talk about storytelling. Now, we know, like I said, we know this is a Black Cat, but in all reality, how come there's no, man, we don't have any type of nothing. Like there's no information regarding the history or the story even behind the name of the shoe outside of it being black. So toe cap, outsole, midsole, interior, laces, Nike Air in the back, the tab, the heel tab, it's all black. The only white we have in this shoe is that Nike Air on the bottom, along with the size tag on the inside. Even the interior, the guts is black. Now, with that being said, I do have to tell you, we do have a different shape on here. So this shape is different from the previous retro, especially the OGs in 2006, right? So the shape is different. Me personally, I do like this rounded off shape. You've already heard the complaints about the squeaks, right? You heard the complaints about the squeaks. Now, let me show you this. I'm gonna show you this pair in particular because I took the laces out, and I want you to listen. I want you to listen closely, right? We have the squeaks. Oh, y'all already know what it is. Now, the funny part is this is the same shoe. Now, on the other side here, I'm just gonna flip the shoe around. I want you to listen. Listen to the bottom here. There is no squeak. Why is it squeaking on this side and not on this side? Man, I'll tell y'all why. Because we are not gonna let a squeak stop us from copping this kick. Okay, that's not the reason why it's not squeaking. The reason why it's not squeaking is because your boy done messed around and decided to go to Walmart and pick up something that's called transparent tape. Man, this is called friction, right? It's called friction. And at the end of the day, you know, whenever you have contact with different materials, right? You're gonna have different sounds. Now, apparently, because of the wing strap here that is on this shoe, this metallic looking, you know, this shiny, right? It's not matted, it's shiny. So there's some sort of covering over here. What it does is when it makes contact with certain materials, nubuck and suede happens to be those materials, it appears like it's making a sound. The only other shoe that I have here right now, as you can tell and take a look at, all of these Jordan 4s that I have here are going to be the oxidized greens. When you take a look at that metallic strap there, the eyelet, that honeycomb eyelet right there, you see it's extremely similar, and it seems to be making that same sound on nubuck, not on leather. Take a look here. So when we have leather on leather contact, we are good. But the moment we place that on any type of nubuck, it's going to go ahead and give us that sound. I know it looks weird, but it is true. So in order to stop that, right, that friction, right, think about friction. Watch this. I've seen a few videos where people were kind of definitely like, yo, I think this is like a material flaw or anything like that. Look, I've said this in my lives. I'm not a material expert. That I'm not. But I've had a lot of shoes on foot. So just because it's making a sound doesn't necessarily mean that it's a defective flaw. I'll prove a point. Whenever you play basketball, just as an example, whenever you play basketball, what you hear up and down the hardwood, right? A bunch of squeaks, right? You hear nothing but squeaking up and down during the basketball game. And we associate that squeaking as traction, good traction, right? From the shoe to the hardwood court, right? You want good traction. What do you always see them doing? Wiping their shoes off. Always wiping off their shoes. Playing defense, wiping shoes, right? Because they want that contact. And we can identify good contact by hearing that squeak. Now, only thing that means to me is that there's good contact clearly being made here. So all I did was went ahead, slapped some tape on there. You can puncture a hole. You won't see it because the laces are going to be there. And this is proof. Even when you're walking, you're not going to hear the squeak. I'm going to make another video about this. Right? I don't want to take up too much time because I'm blabbering. But at the end of the day, I was wrong. Both of these shoes embarrassed me because both of these kicks sold out when I wasn't expecting them to. Now the question is, what's next? The Gammas. We getting 1 point whatever million pairs of the Gammas. Are the Gammas going to sell out? What's going on with the Bugs Bunnies? Look, I officially know nothing. But it's always love on this end. Thanks for tapping in. Comment down below. Let me know if you'll cop these kicks. The 2020 pair released, I want to say, for $190. I was able to use some status cash on these. I went to the mall and look, I'm grateful I put on these. I always say, look, whenever you can hit like on EA with JD, think of it like insurance. Even if you think a kick is going to be readily available, think of it like insurance, so you can go ahead and guarantee your pair. I'm going to make another video about the mall pickup as well. Hey, look, it's always love in this end. Thanks for tapping in, and we out of here.